and can't wait to see some of these of the Scottish Outdoor Arts platform. Again, thank you so much. And would you mind, everybody, just putting it, if you're not in Scotland, could you just put into chat where you are? I see there are people from several European countries and even Australia. So just put something in the chat there. Over to you, Martin. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, and welcome back to the Scottish Outdoor Arts platform, which Articulation is organising as part of this amazing event. And I'm very glad to say that I can now hand over to Vee Smith, who's going to be our host for this session. Vee will hopefully introduce the rest of the presentation. So if Stanley can maybe spotlight Vee and the BSL for the introduction, that'd be wonderful. Thank you very much. And not me.
Hi everyone, thank you for those of you who are joining us from the Moving Out Symposium, and hi to anyone that is just joining us now. So if you could put in the chat where you're from, that would be really great. It'd be exciting to hear where people are from in Scotland and also from Europe and the UK and the wider world. So welcome to the Scottish Outdoor Arts platform. It's hosted today by Articulation as part of the Moving Out Symposium. For those of you that aren't familiar with Articulation's work, we are the advocacy body for outdoor arts, physical theatre and the circus sector in Scotland. As part of Moving Out, Articulation is hosting this Scottish Outdoor Arts platform, and it's going to be a pitching and networking event to connect artists and promoters with work and programming slots available in Scotland from this summer, summer 2021, to next year, summer 2022. So we're just going to start with some brief housekeeping. So today the BSL interpreters are Bruce Cameron and Leslie King, who are sharing a screen. After this introduction, they're not going to automatically be pinned, so anybody requiring BSL, please make sure that you find them and pin them for themselves. In between the presentation, we'll allow a little bit of time for the interpreters to change over. So if anyone with any BSL requirements needs anything during any of the sessions, just put it in the chat or let it be known and we'll do our very best to help you out. So the session today is going to last for 1 hour. The first half of this session will see 2 slightly longer presentations followed by 8 short 3-minute pitches from artists and programmers on current work that they've got available for touring, on commissioning or programming opportunities for now until summer 2022. The second half of this session, as already mentioned, is going to be the scheduled speed dating session. So if anybody is already signed up for that, then you should have already received all of your timetabling and information. And we ask that for that you have a good old-fashioned mobile phone handy, just in case there's any technical difficulties, because their sessions are pretty fast turnaround. So before we get started today, we just need to give a very brief special thank you to Creative Scotland for funding these sessions, and to our partners today, to Surge and to Wrap the World for co-organising the symposiums. So, our first speaker for today is Diane Thornton from Tenterhooks, and she is going to talk about her work adapting to the outdoors and working with venues. Diane?
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So, Tenterhooks are 3 core artists who have been making work together for about 6 years. That's 1 visual artist, Fergus Dunnett, and 2 theatre clowns, Susie Ferguson and myself. I'm based rurally in Dunoon, Argyll, and the other 2 are in Glasgow. I'm going to talk about being a small artist-led company that is a mix of rural and urban. We make small-scale theatre for unconventional spaces. So far, these have been immersive adventures, physical clown pieces, and walkabouts. Most recently, we've been working on theatre for specific audiences, such as sensory-seeking young people and intergenerational family groups. The audience and the live experience are front and centre for us. We value the emotional connection between performer and audience member. All of our work is interactive, and the majority of it involves audiences during our making process. Our style is influenced by our individual backgrounds. Fergus in visual art, puppetry and magic, Susie in clowning and street performance, myself in the abandonment of traditional acting for physical theatre and international collaborations. We started out as friends, and we're often working with colleagues who are friends, but we want to expand and enrich our creative team by meeting people who are new to us, so please do get in touch if what you hear from me interests you. The first piece that we made was called Call of Nature, a field trip led by a couple of fools. We built that show in collaboration with an early years group in Argyll, and we developed it into a touring production that was programmed by families, arts festivals, community gardens and theatre venues. We've been very privileged in being able to continue to grow and to make work during this pandemic, largely because we received funding and commissions, and we had the capacity to make the work. And our creative team knows each other so well that devising, rehearsing and designing over Zoom and WhatsApp was possible, and sometimes even enjoyable. Speaking of enjoyable, we support our creative teams to have lives. Our working hours are shorter than the all-encompassing theatre making hours that I come from. Many of our creatives have caring responsibilities. We work in short blocks of rehearsal days, split up over time. Often our rehearsal spaces are a mix of rural and urban so that we can share the commuting load throughout the process. We aren't core funded and we're all freelancers. Tenterhooks HQ is wherever we put the laptop. Capacity is an issue, and we are honest with our partners about just how resourced or otherwise we are. It was a couple of years between the performers making our first show whilst handling all aspects of production, funding and programming before it was recognised as an option by more resourced venues and festivals. We're really fortunate that we've benefited from Creative Scotland funding to develop our team, and we now collaborate with Scottish theatre producers. And for our current tour of Mess, we have a production stage manager. Of course, we're delighted that we're now able to contract and pay the right people and benefit from their professional skills. But our journey of doing all the jobs until that point has made us really value collaboration, and that experience has stayed with us. Within the team, everyone can share ideas and ask questions equally whilst respecting each person's specialisms. In terms of supporting small companies to make outdoor work, we've found that small pots of funding to make a one-off performance is not sustainable. It helps us to work on something longer and have a show available for a longer period of time, often doing R&D in collaboration with a venue. Often we have a degree of flexible casting because it's just not possible for us to be in a band for 6 weeks touring. We build creative check-in days with casts throughout the tour. That's really beneficial because we can embed new discoveries that are made once our show's in front of an audience. We like our work to feel bespoke to each venue. We like everyone to feel invested. Venues that work well with us have conversations about audiences and access. How can we be involved from the moment the audience first hears about our show? For example, some venues recognised that Call of Nature was fairly unique and threw themselves into playful pre-show opportunities with us. We worked with Platform during Mess's development, and they hosted our focus groups attending test performances. when we tour there next week, we're going to feel like we're coming home. Conversations early on are a great way to explore bespoke ideas and uncover any potential surprises on either side, agree expectations, identify sites, and discuss logistics. I'm going to briefly just tell you about 3 shows that we have available for touring before I finish. You can read more about all of them and watch trailers on tenterhooks.org. This is where I do my very low-tech screen share. Let's see if we work. Okay, are you dancing? A theatrical bubble of silliness and fun for all the family, aged 5 to 105. Inspired by silent movies, variety shows, and Glasgow's iconic dance halls. A wee woman is packed up and ready to make a new start. All she needs to do is wait without incident for her taxi. But life is never that simple. Originally developed with support from the Tron Theatre as part of their Suitcase Stories project, toured to gardens and driveways in and around Glasgow in April. 1 performer, 1 stage manager, 3-metre square performing space, flooring provided, 15 minutes running time. Mess. A bold, playful and emotionally engaging performance for young audiences with complex additional support needs and their families. A live action cartoon full of sensory stimulation, suspense and surprise. Theatre bubbles up out of the everyday. This performance works brilliantly in everyday spaces, classrooms, car parks, gardens. It's been adapted for COVID-secure performances with support from Creative Scotland. It's now touring to 5 venues, supported by their touring fund. It was adapted in collaboration with focus groups from 3 SEN schools. It's in Edinburgh this week, and you can read loads more about it on its own website, messtheshow.org. We're Women. Anarchic Walkabout. Commissioned by Surge, first performed at Surge Festival and Physical Fest in Liverpool in 2017. The werewomen prowl the streets with the quick instincts of a lean hunting machine, or they would, if only they were better at being wolves. Character clowning, parkour, slapstick, and silly scares. Social distancing is possible, although we haven't tried it yet. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Diane, for sharing your working practice and for sharing your fantastic work with us. So for our next slightly longer presentation, we have Charlotte Mountford, who is the co-director of Life Arts Centre, and she will be presenting on programming outdoor work from a rural perspective. Charlotte.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to attempt to share my screen, also low-tech style, taking inspiration from Diane there. Okay. Can you all see that?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll make it big. Hello, everybody. My name's Charlotte Mountford, and as Vee said, I'm one of the co-directors at Life Arts Centre. So I'm going to give you a wee introduction to the Arts Centre and to myself. I'm going to share some examples of some outdoor programming we've done in the last couple of years. I'm going to talk about some of the successes and challenges, and then I'll wrap up with some top tips for artists and programmers. So Life Arts Centre, it is the UK's most northerly mainland arts centre. And in a normal year, we present an annual programme of live performances across the county. So you can see some of the other village halls and community centres where we present work as well. Alongside this, we also have a contemporary visual art programme and quite an extensive participatory programme of educational and socially engaged arts projects, which are led by local creatives in our community. And most of this is through our Caithness Artists in Residence programme. Obviously, throughout the pandemic, we've had to change what we've been doing. So some examples of that's the activity pack that we did, but we're really excited to be coming back to live performance again this summer. And I've just screenshotted that's our website just now. Lots of exciting things happening, and all of it outdoors as well. So a wee bit about me. I'm a producer and programmer from Manchester originally. Before I moved up to the Highlands, I worked predominantly in festivals and outdoor arts, leading on projects like the Night of Festivals, Journeys Festival International, and this is some work I did for Highland Youth Arts Hub. So producing work outside and in unusual places is something I'm really excited by, and we were really keen to bring some of that programme into the Arts Centre when we came up, and it was a real priority for us to do here at the Arts Centre. So to share some examples that we've done recently, you can see here the little fawn puppet caravan. This was part of our family festival in 2018 and again in 2019. I think small pieces like this really add to an event. They create an interesting look and atmosphere, and also create an additional performance space as well. So audiences are invited to come into the caravan and share in a very intimate puppet performance. It's really exciting and really fun. And this is it just pulled up in our car park here. Another piece I wanted to mention was Call of Nature, which Diane spoke about. So here's down in our field, just opposite the Arts Centre. This again was part of our family festival, the first ever family festival we did actually. And I think just tenterhooks are a really brilliant example of working with a fantastic company, because they can really bring your outdoor spaces to life. That's almost something you as the programme I don't need to worry about, because you know you're in capable hands, and they're going to show up, explore the space and animate it in ways that we couldn't have even dreamed of, which is really brilliant. We also had All or Nothing with us for our family festivals. This is just car park. Yeah, this was a piece, Come Fly, Come Try, which was an interactive piece of aerial theatre where audiences were invited to come and have a go on the hoops at the end of the performance. And I do have to admit that when the festival finished, some of the staff and the artists, we had a couple of beers and had a go as well. So that was really good fun. But again, I think this is a really interesting example of a piece of work that looks really visually interesting. It really draws people in. It's something a bit different. And then we're really excited to be welcoming All or Nothing back again this summer with their new piece, The Swings, as well. And we've also presented work off-site, so not just at the Arts Centre, but around the county, kind of following our trail of village halls and community centres that we work with. So we had Ocean All Over's brilliant orographic at Dunnet Forest here, which is a kind of coastal forest on the north coast up here, and that was really amazing and really atmospheric. And that was a great way to kind of partner with another local community organisation to bring a piece of outdoor art to the county, which was really fun. And we've also done some of our own commissions and own projects. So like this is our winter projection project, which we repeated again for a kind of COVID safe event this winter as well, where we projected onto the Artist's House here at the Arts Centre. And we've also commissioned artists to do things in our outdoor spaces, like this forest school that we've got here. And again, we're repeating stuff like that again. I'm going to stop sharing now so you can look at my lovely face. So just to kind of talk about some of the successes and challenges of programming kind of outdoor work at Life Arts Centre in our kind of rural context. I think the major successes for me have been the audience development opportunities. Outdoor work is so accessible. We can take it to people, it can pop up in their gardens or in their driveways or in their town centre. It's surprising, joyful, and it really celebrates the place in a unique way. And we've also found that presenting outdoor work in a festival context, so kind of under an umbrella, is really, really helpful. It helps us to increase footfall and attendance and can help make some kind of ticketing more of a possibility. I guess some challenges will of course include things like weather, and in the Highlands things like midges, but that hasn't prevented anything going ahead as of yet. I would definitely say to trust your local audiences. They know to come prepared, they know what to bring, they know how to be ready for it. As Diane mentioned, funding is also another challenge. Life Arts Centre is project funded. We don't receive any core funding. I think often because of the scale, the expertise and the quality of outdoor work, it can be expensive and can be equally as difficult to ticket to raise money from box office income. But because the audience development opportunities are so huge, I think it's definitely a worthwhile investment for any venue, and one that any funder should be able to see the benefits of if you're able to articulate that. So what would my top tips for programmers and artists be, particularly focused around rural touring? So for both of us, I would say collaborate. Venues know the landscape, the local authority, the community, but artists are total experts in making this work and making it happen anywhere. I think start the conversations early, like Diane highlighted. If we can be part of the process as much as possible, that's fantastic. Share the risk and make it happen. For artists, I'd maybe say we have to think a wee bit outside the box about footfall in more rural areas. So for example, Life Arts Centre is in the middle of the countryside. People aren't just going to be walking past. Our town centres might be a little bit quieter as well. So let's think about how we can make an occasion of your show and of your visit and really be like, the circus is in town, everyone, let's go to it. For venues, especially if this is new for you, don't be put off by the thought of any of the additional bureaucracy. Companies provide excellent risk assessments and support, and there's help from people like Articulation to help you with these things. And in my experience, whilst sometimes frustrating, most local authorities want to help you and they aren't as obstructive as you think they might be. Just make sure you plan and budget for this time and make sure you have all your licenses and permissions in place. So looking ahead to the future, I think there's still a lot of uncertainty, but I would really like to kind of wave the flag for the idea that outdoor arts and outdoor performance isn't just a pandemic thing. It's been important before the pandemic and will continue to be so. And it's going to have a really important role to play in bringing our audiences back to live performance. So if you're thinking about doing it, I think that now is the perfect time to kind of book this type of work. We'd really love to have more outdoor work at the Arts Centre, so please do get in touch. My contact details should be shared at the end of this, and our programming policy is on the Life Arts Centre website if you want to have a look at that. But thank you very much. It's really nice to meet you all.
Thank you very much, Charlotte, for sharing your experiences of the very charming and wonderful Life Arts Centre. So that concludes our two slightly longer presentations. We are now going to move into our fast round of 3-minute elevator pitches. So buckle up and get ready because it is going to be a bit faster from now on. So just a reminder to everybody that is getting ready to present that if you do overrun, we will get out our digital stick and we will poke you off screen. So the first artist that we have is Andrew Simpson, and he is going to be discussing the work and practice of the artist, Andrew Simpson.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen here. There we are. Everybody can see that, yeah?
Yes.
Perfect. So hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Simpson, and I'm pitching the show Hey Idiots, Text Me Your Climate Change Solutions. The show, oh, is this working? It's not working. Hold on. Okay, I'll just do it the old-fashioned. Okay, there we go. The show is an interactive outdoor show about the climate crisis, about big business greenwashing, and about violence. Two corporate consultants have come to canvass the public, the ordinary people, for their creative solutions to climate change. This, however, quickly descends into chaos with slapstick violence, innovative costumes, audience interaction, and lots of silliness. The show has two performers, myself and Lewis Sherlock. The show has a walkabout element and a static finale. There's 20 minutes of walkabout followed by 15 minutes of a static show. On tour, we'll provide 3 performances a day. Our fee is £600 plus travel expenses for the first day and then £400 for any subsequent days afterwards. The piece is very technically self-sufficient with no additional technical support required. The performers use hands-free microphones and carry their portable sound systems for amplification around with them at all times. In addition, the piece is very mobile and adaptable to different spaces and audience configurations. All interaction between the performers and audiences happens physically distanced, assisted by the use of the microphones. The performance is suitable for green spaces and for urban environments. The development of this project has been supported in a number of ways. We are a recipient of the Surge Outdoor Arts Bursary, and in addition, we've received funding from the Creative Scotland Open Project Fund. We are performing as part of the bursary at Surge Festival in Glasgow over the weekend and at Spree in Waterford in Ireland. This is a fun, satirical, tongue-in-cheek performance that asks important questions about where responsibility for action on climate change lies. The audience will leave both entertained, but also thinking about the climate, about the issues, and about the world around them. This is particularly topical and important this year when the United Nations Climate Change Conference, COP26, will happen in Glasgow, with climate change on everyone's minds in Scotland and around the world. I'm Andrew Simpson. Thanks for listening. And the show is Hey Idiots, Text Me Your Climate Change Solutions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Our next presenter is Andy Bryden, and they're going to be talking about Spectra Festival in Aberdeen.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Great. I'll share my screen with you and give a short presentation of what Spectra is. Spectra is Aberdeen's Festival of Light. I run an organisation called Curated Place, and we've been commissioned by Aberdeen City Council to run this since 2015. We've been quite successful. We've won several event awards from the Drum and UK Festivals networks. We do a large-scale city centre festival where over the years we've commissioned more than 140 new commissions from 80 local, national and international artists. And we really do like working both within Scotland and particularly with the Nordic nations. We're the most visited festival in Aberdeen. We take over the whole city centre, as I say, and we try to meet the strategic needs of the cultural programme in Aberdeen around making all the city a stage, becoming Scotland's creative lab, and connecting Aberdeen to the world. We do take on quite a large area. If you want to see more visuals and moving images, scan the QR code there and you can see a short video of what the festival looks like. But we're faced with massive challenges this year. We've just been recommissioned after a year of hiatus, and our milestone for signing things off is the 1st of November to deliver in February. So we've got quite a tight turnaround and we're having to rethink the whole festival. So rather than large scale installations and static installations or more located things, we're looking at creating more of a trail for people to walk through. Or the other option is that we create something where we leave in large scale works for a longer period of time. We try to avoid doing just 16:9 presentations of screen projections, so that anything that it's not a screen-based festival, it's about activating public space. And we have worked with storytellers a lot in the past, but not a lot of walkabout theatre. And we're looking for people to help us find solutions of how do we manage the risk of presenting a festival for 100,000 people over 4 days through a city centre that has to respond to COVID restrictions one way or the other. We'd love to talk to more people, longer term around commissioning, around how we raise money. We have a lot of success with European funding and Nordic funding. We work closely with partners in Iceland, Norway and Ireland. And we'd be really keen to work with all of this network to make something happen for February. So please do get in touch. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Andy. Our next presenter is Melanie Purdy, and they are going to briefly discuss their work with Swallow the Sea.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay, brilliant. So I'm just going to share a photo so you can get a feel for what Swallow the Sea is. So I'm Melanie. I'm here with two hats on today. I'm the newly appointed Strategic and Creative Director of Dumfries and Galloway Arts Festival. So I'll be doing some sessions in terms of speaking dating for that, and I'm happy to discuss that at another time as well. But I'm also the producer for Swallow the Sea Caravan Theatre. So as you can see, here's a photo of the caravan. This is run by three artists, Emma Brierley, Jemima Thews, and Jess Rain. And they created the caravan back in 2015-16 to create small, intimate performances using puppetry and visual theatre. The caravan hosts about 8 people at a push, but what's really exciting about that is it means that they can essentially create small and intricate pieces, which allows them to be able to engage with audiences directly, as well as offer one-to-ones and more sort of smaller capacity shows. They have about 7 shows in their repertoire, and in the last 2 years, they have actually opened up the side of the caravan. So it means that they can perform, use the inside of the caravan as a stage and perform out. So this photo that you're seeing is actually from Charleville Festival in France, where we open the side of the caravan and perform their new show Triptych, which allowed us to be able to show work to about 150 people as a crowd outside. Their most recent show, which we've just received funding from Creative Scotland for, is called Threads, which is a part of the Made in Scotland showcase for Edinburgh Fringe this year. Will be at Summer Hall throughout the entire festival, and it will show both Triptych and Threads as part of the Made in Scotland showcase throughout their run, so that we can do some physically, socially distanced work and keep the performers and the audiences at a distance. So obviously we have a lot of shows that you can book in, but if you're a programmer interested in the work, there's lots of different options of what essentially you can book. So I'm really happy to have a discussion as to whether you'd like to book something more intricate now that things are easing, but also look at options to be able to open that caravan and have other shows. So what they can do as a company is they can also run 2 or 3 different types of shows in a day. So we're really up for a discussion, and we can work quite flexibly with you. That's me.
Thank you very much, Melanie. I'm sure lots of people are excited to speed date with you later. Our next presenter is Simon McIntyre, and they are going to talk about their work with vision mechanics. Simon? Is Simon entering the building? Well, we may hear from Simon later. If we're ready, our next presenter is a video presentation by Dawn Taylor from Puppet Animation Scotland. Is her video ready?
Should have a video for you
today. Hi everyone, I'm really sorry I'm not here today. I had a last minute unexpected appointment, and so I'm joining you by video. If you're an artist who's pitched today and I've missed it and you want to send through your details, please do let me know. I'm very happy to follow up with anybody who wants to chat. So to introduce myself, I'm Dawn. I'm the Artistic Director of Puppet Animation Scotland. We champion, develop and present puppetry, visual theatre and animated film in Scotland and internationally. By visual theatre, we have quite a broad definition, so that includes anything from aerial and circus to mime, physical theatre, puppetry, object theatre, even dance. Anything really whereby the primary method of moving the story forward or propelling the piece ahead is visual rather than text-based, even if there is some text in the piece. We've got 2 festivals that we produce every year: Manipulate Festival for adults, which takes place in late January, early February, and Puppet Animation Festival.
not from Articulation.
manipulate because of its position in the year. It's a little bit of a
just
tricky
now.
time for outdoor work, although certainly possible. And we have had artists bring work which has been
Yes,
outdoor all
okay.
year.
So if
And
when
then
you
if from
join,
indoors site response
in chat,
piece
just
in the big
message
space,
Vee
it's
Smith
an
or
invite to
Simon
festival.
Smith,
So
just to say that you're there,
we
so they
curate a
can put
programme
into the
based on
programme.
things that we've
And I've
seen,
just
but we're always
got you
happy
in
to have
when you
conversations
arrive.
with artists. And so if you don't already have a relationship with us and you want to introduce us to your work, just drop us a
There
line.
is,
We lock that programme down in the summer every year, so sort of June to August time. Then Puppet Animation Festival is curated by application, and applications are open now for 2022. So as I said, it's March and April it takes place. The applications close on the 29th of July this year, and that festival is essentially a rural touring festival. So we have a network of 260 venues. Yeah, they're in some of the furthest flung corners of Scotland. So some of them are really established venues in cities, some of them are village halls. And we take on a programme of say 15 to 20 productions and workshops and animated films, and we basically put together a tour working with our venue partners over the course of the 3 weeks of the festival. Now in 22 we will be having indoor work, but I think given everything that's happened, I think that promoters and presenters will be particularly keen for work that can live outdoors, and so I think it's a really good moment to think about bringing that work to Puppet Animation Festival, particularly work that's visually led, particularly work with puppetry in, and come and have a chat with us if you're not sure whether the piece might be the right fit. Read the guidelines, so they're over on Puppet Animation Scotland's website, they're live now. If you've got further questions, please let me know, and anyone who is cooking up a project that you think might be the right fit for us, please drop in an application. Otherwise, I hope to meet you all soon, and I'm sorry again that I couldn't be there.
That was Dawn Taylor from Puppet Animation Scotland. Sorry about some of the additional audio there was over that video, but hopefully everybody was still able to hear Dawn and can get in touch with her if they would like any more information. Our next presenter is Laura Edwards from Loop.
Hi. Okay, right. Hi, I'm Laura Edwards. I'm the Artistic Director of Loop Theatre, and I've got my notes on my phone, and my phone just closed. So who are we? Loop Theatre is an inclusive physical theatre company. We're based in Glasgow, in Govan, and our fundamental belief is to kind of challenge people's preconceived ideas of what ability and form are. To enjoy and experience the work as much as we enjoy making it, to provoke thought through connection and laughter. To encourage participation with the audience is a fundamental part of our ideology. We deliver community-based classes throughout the Greater Glasgow area, and we work in partnership with a number of organisations, schools, community groups, local authorities and care agencies. Our performance company is made up of 50% professionally trained physical theatre performers, a lot of clowns, and 50% trainee performers who have a learning disability and or autism. Everyone is involved in the devising process of the work that we make. We have delivered and are still delivering site-specific and street theatre performances in Scotland, and we've been doing that since 2013. And some of our acts are as follows. You'll recognise this photograph. It's been used by Merchant City Festival time and time again. We should probably get some copyright on that. Anyway, this is the Injustice League, and this was created in partnership with Surge in 2016. And the Injustice League are superhero cleaners. They are, and we were funded by Create Scotland, I should also add, and each character has a unique skill to them that reflects part of themselves. So my character, for example, is Slumber Woman, because I have chronic fatigue and she can make you sleep. And they also, a really important part of them is to consider the environment, cleaning up the environment, and to also think about what injustice is. The next act we're looking at is Games of Bogey. Games of Bogey was in 2017, and the Games of Bogey is a promenade piece rather than walkabout, and the audience come and meet the games master, who divides the audience into separate teams, and the teams then have to follow a map and come across these different stations, and here is one here, and then they have to participate in a series of impossible tasks. You cannot win Games of Bogey. The kind of purpose of this and the motivation for this work was talking to our trainee performers and them sharing their experience of how difficult it was for them to navigate the benefit system specifically, but also the NHS and any kind of support systems. So we wanted the audience to kind of participate, experience that, but in a fun way. Our next act is the Anti-Apathy Ambassadors. And Games of Bogey was also, we worked with Serge on that one. The Anti-Apathy Ambassadors was commissioned by Glasgow City Council's European Championship Fund. The Anti-Apathy Ambassadors, I love this photograph. We accidentally came across people getting married and they invited us to be part of their wedding photographs. What's not to like? The Anti-Apathy Ambassadors have come from deep, dark space. Their only reference to Earth is Jane Fonda of 1980s Keep Fit videos, and they're fascinated by their environment. They're very, very innocent and they're very exploratory. They really want to share dances and also maybe a little bit of fitness with the audience. And lastly, we have our most recent work, which was Cinderella, the Search for a Storyteller. And this was funded by Creative Scotland, and we worked again with Serge, and we took pantomime out to the people. And we did that by taking them to shopping centres. We felt it was really important that some people cannot get that opportunity to afford to go to pantomime, and we just wanted to also get people to get away from thinking about shopping. So we had, working in partnerships, we had all of the classic pantomime characters just wandering around the shopping centre, ending with this, with a big finale. As you can, this one was Princess Square, a big, joyful, wonderful finale. And yeah, all of those acts are available and ready to go. And there are links on our last page to films about all of those acts. My phone number and contact details are on that sheet. And if you're interested or you just want to have a chat, we are really, really interested in partnership work. We love working with other people because it's all about sharing anyway. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Laura. So our next presenter is Bronwyn Nixon from the Touring Network. Take it away, Bronwyn.
Where am I? Hello, everybody. How you doing? So hi, I am Bronwyn, and I am, sorry, I'm just getting my notes up. 1 second. I'm Bronwyn, and I'm the development network manager, but for the Touring Network. So if you don't already know who the Touring Network are, we exist to support high quality, new and innovative work to reach rural regions in Scotland. We work with the Highlands, Islands, Orkney, Shetland, Argyll and Bute, Perthshire, and a tiny bit of Moray. We are a membership organisation, and by having a membership with us, our promoters have annual access to training, networking and funding opportunities, plus advice and just being on the end of the phone, which has been really important this year. Some of our support includes our transition fund, which takes applications from promoters for bursaries up to £1,000 to support live performance in their community. And we also have an annual programme, which as of 2021 will now be shortlisted and selected by our promoters for our promoters. So if you're interested in being added to the long list, please get in touch. We'll be holding a promoters panel every year in order to programme for the following year. We're particularly keen in pushing for more outdoor arts to be part of this programme. The promoters panel is a new concept and we're excited to get it started. There's a lot more I could say, but I'm limited on time today. So if anyone has any questions about us, our promoters or our performers and how we help, please get in touch. So my final point is just to promote our upcoming event called the Big Meetup, which isn't even online yet. We're going to release the information about that on Monday. So if you've heard of the Touring Network before, you may be familiar with the Gathering, which is an amazing annual event where we get all of the promoters, or attempt to get all of the promoters across the region in one place at one time. And this is where they can see showcased work, meet performers and one another, and just have a really nice time. So obviously we can't do that at the moment, so we're doing it online. Yes, it's another online event, but we will be doing it slightly different with a few new tricks and surprises and some creative networking opportunities. So we'd love any performers who are interested in meeting our promoters to come along. And likewise, anyone else in the sector who wants to hear about what we're doing, and just come and have a nice time. So keep your eyes peeled for that information. And I just wanted to say thank you for having me this morning, and it's been really nice to come along and hear about all the different work, not just in Scotland, but across the UK, because it's so easy to have your blinders on sometimes when you're working in rural regions. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much, Bronwyn. And now we are ready to hear from Simon McIntyre from Vision Mechanics. Simon.
Unmute. Been recently working very hard to put on Storm this autumn. So we're going to start off in North Berwick on the 15th. With all the kind of COVID stuff that we've had to do around that and the extra cost that is to limit our audiences and register them and everything, even though it's an outdoor parade and the parades and licenses. Anyway, but that wasn't what I was going to talk about, even though it's amazing. Look out for Storm coming to somewhere in Scotland near you this autumn. She's a 10-meter high goddess made from recycled materials and operated by 16 puppeteers who are going to be training at the East Linton Museum of Flight. First event is in North Berwick on the 15th of August, all being well. But actually what we've got is Drift, which is a kind of headphone show, which was music by Eddie Maguire, from the Whistle Binkies and narrated by Gerda Stevenson, and it's a kind of installation show that happens on beaches. I would share pictures if I knew how to do that, but I can't quite do that anyway. Never mind. Oh, maybe I can. No, I can't. Okay, so anyway, but yeah, so Drift is one person at a time. It's super COVID friendly. You walk through, it's set up on a beach because a lot of our work is about people discovering things through accident or people discovering things because they're in their locality. It's a kind of art installation stroke narrative structure. So we're quite into the idea that things can tell stories. So we love this idea that you walk through this installation, you're listening to the story on a set of headphones, you're listening to the music on the headphones, but at the same time, you're physically looking at aspects of the installation. So you can open drawers in the cupboards. The story is essentially about this, it's a true story. So it's about a woman who drifted from Shetland to Norway for 9 days. She was age 62 and she had she had a limp, bad leg, so she couldn't walk to the market along with everybody else. This was in the 1800s, so she took the boat. Sadly, the boat was cast off by a storm, and she was drifted for 9 days with just a small bit of milk and some biscuits. Anyway, but yeah, so that's essentially you get immersed into this environment that we create on a beach, and we're using a beach because that's kind of a line between the sea and the sand. We did it back in 2014 and it got sort of great reviews. It was shortlisted for a CAT award and for for narration, for music, for the set design, if doing an outdoor work is a set design. Strange thing. Anyway, but yeah, that's it. I don't know. I can't think of anything else to say really, except we're doing Storm, but next year we're going to be doing Drift. And maybe some other stuff, who knows. Yeah, I'm finished. It's me.
Thank you very much, Simon. So thank you very much to everybody that has presented and pitched this afternoon. And I would urge anybody that is not already signed up to sign up to the Articulation newsletter and to have a look at the website. And I am now going to hand you back over to Martin. Hopefully going to hand you back over to Martin.
Hello, so amazingly, we are running slightly ahead of schedule, which if everybody is as hungry as me, won't go amiss. Unfortunately, we had one of the pitches have to drop out at the very last minute because of more health issues, which seems to be a story that we're all going to have to get used to this year. But thank you so much to Vee for her amazing hosting of the session, and to our wonderful BSL interpreters who have done such a grand job at keeping us all right throughout it. Thank you also to the technical team of Surge who've done such an amazing job at keeping us all in the right place, and except when I made a mistake and didn't turn off my microphone, it's all been incredibly smooth. So thank you very much for that. And obviously thank you so much to Creative Scotland for funding this event, well, our event in all sorts of places, and to our partners Surge and Wrap the World for their support too. So that's the end of the formal bit of the Scottish Outdoor Arts platform. Hopefully everybody who is going on speed dating knows where they're going and has got the appropriate invitations. I will be around obviously for the next couple of hours, so if people are getting lost, please do get in touch with me. And we can do that. For everybody else, we really hope that the Scottish Outdoor Arts Index will be out in the next couple of weeks. And this will be a full database of, I think we're currently looking at nearly 60 different works that are available to perform in Scotland over the next year, as well as a couple of dozen venues who are interested and have specifically mentioned possibilities, and a range of freelancers who will be invaluable at actually making the work happen. So please do look out for that. It will hopefully be a really useful publication. As I said, if you have got work, if you are a freelancer, if you are a venue, if you haven't submitted an entry yet and you are keen to, then please do get in touch with me really quickly, because the deadline has already officially passed, but we are obviously keen to do that. And generally, as I suppose I said at the beginning, Articulation is here to champion the circus sector, the physical performance sector, and the outdoor arts sector. And we are really keen to find out how we can best do this, so that if people working in the sector or people working near the sector have got specific things that they think that we could really help with, or ways that we could encourage further connections, please do get in touch with me, and my details are in chat. And very finally, just in case anybody hasn't had enough Zoom for one day and wants to continue the discussions, or if you're a speed dater who's got lost and needs further direction, I will post another Zoom link in the chat, and that will open at 2 for anybody who's got any further questions, or has got lost, or has got any suggestions, or just wants to keep continuing the conversation. So apart from that, we have come to the end. Thank you so much for sticking with us for what has been a long but hopefully inspiring and wonderful day. So without further ado, thank you very much to everybody who's made this event so wonderful, and we look forward to meeting you all in the flesh as well as in Zoom over the coming months. Thank you very much, and good night. Good night. Good afternoon.